bit.
Yes.
Him coming black and still turning away.
Yeah.
Now, the Bible's going to get you on this one. It says, blessed are the peacemakers. So your little brother could bring that up against us.
Blessed are the peacemakers.
Yes.
So I'm one of the peacemakers. You know what, I'm going to move over there closer because I'm wondering if those are the people coming up here, and I think they are.
It's been good talking to you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your insight in this too. Okay.
So then the question is, where do you go from there? And that's where the Democratic leadership has to decide what they're going to bring to the floor.
Don't you also? I agree. I appreciate you saying that, and I don't mean to jump right away. It's just when you say certain words that I recently heard the president say, it triggers this thing that I try really hard to control. But my concern is, I think that Senator Smith is in a position where he can be part of that 2 votes plus in lobbying his own party to veto the president's bill. I mean, anybody who's thinking, who's not fearful, has to understand that the people of the United States are not supporting the president's position.
The polls on that show, I think.
So isn't it to someone's advantage as a representative of the people to lobby other supporters as opposed to buckling under and leaving it up to, I mean, every single day that we do nothing, people die.
What he's been doing, buckling under, yeah. He has been standing up and being a leader within his party and standing up for what he believes. So I don't think that it's right to characterize that as buckling.
I agree, and that's not what I mean to say. What I mean to say is that one of the 2 who stepped over the line and voted with the Democrats, is he not in a position to lobby other Republicans who didn't have that courage and get them to go with him instead of stepping back over into the comfort zone where they are?
Well, I think he'll continue to vote as he is. Of course, he's only responsible for his own vote, and he's not responsible for the votes of other senators. So you just need to express your agreement or disagreement with the way he's voting, and here's disagreed with how the senators in other states are voting, and that's not his.
My letter expresses my gratitude for his vote and my continued efforts.
No, I mean the pundits, Washington, the one about facing Nancy Pelosi and the Democratic leaders is whether or not they do bring a resolution cutting off funding immediately, because they know that half their Democrats will vote that as well. So do they want to bring that to the floor? Is the dilemma they have. So, but just keep informed. Yeah, I want to pull this up and we'll. Okay.
My understanding is that there is actually enough money allotted right now to take care of the needs of the troops, and that the talk that we're going to cut off funds to the troops, that's manipulation. That's really not realistic.
Well, I mean,
I'm not sure now.
A lot of this is just out of the senator's hands, and it's in the hands of the bigger fish than he is. So.
Well, I think what will happen is that the people will continue to speak, and the people that don't support what the people want just aren't going to get elected.
That's the price politicians pay.
That's right.
I would also, though.
But I do love him.
No, thank you. But don't be sucked into thinking that all issues that representatives there should be whatever the 50.1% of the people say. That's what you want here, because you'll be on the losing end of that. We talked about Senator Hatfield, and his courage to oppose the Vietnam War. Well, for a lot of time, he was opposing it when the majority of the people supported it. Was he wrong to do that? Well, that's it. So don't get sucked into that.
No,
so,
I understand. Okay. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. Because Gordon faced that with assisted suicide, because he was against assisted suicide, even though people were for it. We have a lot of culture people saying, "Well, why not? 50% of the organizations are for it, so we should."
I'm for it.
We tried to explain it. One of the first ballot measures that are going to get passed is a ballot measure sponsored by the KKK, outlying Catholic schools. Would it have been Gordon's job to support that? Because the majority of our are going to support it? I hope they should shout it.
I hope the majority of Oregon's
but they did. They voted for it. But it was thrown out by the courts, of course, blatantly. Yeah, I know it. So, but just hope you want to agree with your Congress most of the time, but you want him to have a spine too. And on some issues, you want him to stand up. And so I was just don't get. I hate whenever people say because 50.1% of the people are for it, these should be for it. No, you don't want a congressman like that. So.
I don't tend to be too dogmatic.
That's a weather vane, and not a person. So.
I had to write an essay my senior year in high school.
Yeah.
The topic was trouble with being too open-minded when your brain's my boss. Nice haircut, Andrew.
What's that?
Nice haircut. You're welcome.
I'm getting one today.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I got one about 2 minutes ago. I just cut my face way too short.
Thank you for bringing us by. Go enjoy the weather. So.
Well, but we want some assurance about them having vote.
But we don't know when the vote is or what it would be.
For the supplemental spending.
We have no idea what's coming back next. The Senate's voted now, the House has voted. They got to go to conference committee. The conference committee will report another one out. I assume the senator will vote the same way as he has been voting. And then
So that's your assurance that he'll...
I don't know for sure. I would assume that's what he's doing, yeah. But then after that, the president will veto it. And the congressional leaders will move from there. So, but it's...
The question here is, how is the senator going to vote?
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about the fact that I would assume that whatever bill comes out of the conference committee, his vote will be consistent with what it has been the last, since he gave the speech in December. So,
What does that mean?
That he would vote for the bill, which has the timeline.
Well, it also has more money to continue to wage this war.
But that's the bill that just passed almost. That's the bill you want passed. I'm
Not hardly. No.
Well, I don't understand then. I mean, the vote he cast with the Democrat majority. Did you want him to vote the other way?
We're not. Yes.
You wanted to vote against it?
Funding the war.
Well, that's
the whole point.
Again, being realistic,
It is realistic.
but it's just not going to happen. But that's not going to happen. I mean, even the majority of the Democrats will not vote for that. Even the Speaker won't vote for that. So, I mean, your fight isn't with us. You need to go talk to Senator Wyden and the Speaker Pelosi, and they're not going to bring that bill to the floor.
The Democratic leadership, they determine what
Comes to the floor. So yeah, they're not going to.
Until they bring a bill.
And they're not going to bring that bill. They won't bring that bill to the floor. I know they're. I mean, that's just not going to. I mean, I look at things realistically. Idealistically, fine. Realistically, they're not going to bring that bill to the floor.
Realistically, the war in Vietnam was in it because
I know, but I'm just.
a backbone.
I'm not
that's when
arguing issues with you. I'm
around.
being realistic with you. And your discussion needs to be with Senator Wyden, Congressman Blumenauer, with the people who have influence in the Democrat leaders. If you want that bill brought to the floor, then they're the ones who bring it to the floor. We can't. No, but the Senate, the Democrats control the Senate, and under Senate rules, they decide what comes to the floor. So they can, but the Senate Democrat leaders have to bring it. Senator Smith is a Republican. He has no voice in what comes to the floor.
The campaign that we're involved in is just around the senator's vote. And if you promised today that he was going to vote against further funding, then we would
I can't
be
even,
so
I can't
happy.
even promise you that bill's going to come to the floor because I don't think it is ever going to come to the floor.
Right. This is a real simple question, Kerry, and you've answered it, I think. That the senator's going to vote for more funding for the war. And so that's why we offer nonviolent
That's not what
resistance.
I'm saying. I'm saying the bill is not. I mean, I can guarantee you, almost guarantee you, that bill is never going to come to the floor because I don't think the Democrat leaders will bring it to the floor because they know that it will not pass, and even half their members, or more than half, won't vote for pass. And Speaker Pelosi says she doesn't want that to pass. So if they're not going to bring it to the floor, there's never going to be a vote on it. The chicken and the egg here. So yeah.
Right. All we're asking is that the senator promises not to vote for a supplemental spending bill that will put more money toward this war in Iraq.
Well, that's the bill that everyone just voted for the other day, and it passed. And I mean, that's the vote that every Democrat voted for but won. I mean, all the Democrats voted for it. It's been
The Democrats voted wrong in our.
well, but they're the ones bringing the votes to the floor as well. So I hope you're also expressing your concerns in that
Yes, we
as well. Well, that's good. They've got the power to bring this to the floor. So yeah.
A senator has the power to do the right thing.
And I hope he
Our
thinks
version
so
of the
far
right thing is to vote against more money for the sport. It's real simple to
But
us.
and I admire your idealism, realism. You know, I count votes, and you know, every Democrat voted for the bill yesterday. They control the Senate. There you go. I mean, there you go.
Realistically, then we'll continue to offer our opposition to the senator's failure to announce that intention.
And I hope you talk to Senator Wyden as well, who also will know.
But this isn't about other people.
I know, but
it's about
let's
our
be
concerns.
fair.
We're trying to explain to you.
If you're trying to,
like Senator Wyden has the ability
has voted
to
the exact
affect.
same way as Senator Smith, and he has more power than Senator Smith because he's a member of the majority that will bring the bills to the floor.
As you said, the senator's responsible for his own vote.
His own vote.
We would like to
We
hold
hope
him
he'll,
responsible.
and as well, as long as you do, others as well. To hold other members of the Oregon delegation responsible.
That's the man you work for.
That is.
You can speak.
But remain true to your convictions here and true to your idealism. And don't.
I've been carried out of here 4 times.
I know that,
I
so
think
yeah.
I remain true to my convictions. I've heard each of my convictions.
But thanks for coming. So.
Oh, she wanted to talk to you.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
That Troy.
Is the senator up there?
He's in Washington, D.C., of course, third session.
Anybody else in the office?
We're happy to talk to you. We've got the stuff, so we've given you lots of time.
Yeah, yeah.
We understand each other. We have a working office. We don't got to go there all the time. We've got Andrew and I have meetings outside of the office. We're going to serve. I don't know where we're going. So.
Is there some consistent policy that we can count on and that people are
Well,
count on?
our policy is you need to make appointments. If you're coming to talk about this issue, then Andrew and I are the ones you talk to. We have other staffers, but they're not charged or responsible for talking about this issue. Andrew and I are not in the office all the time, which is why we require appointments.
And we're not in your office, so is it, can we get something in writing saying that we're no longer permitted as
That's not our. I didn't say that. It's our policy.
okay.
So we're allowed to come in right now?
Not right now because Andrew and I are leaving. We have other places to go. So, and you know that. I mean, let's be honest. We were very gracious at first to Troy. I talked to them very many times, and he sat in our office, and it was fine to have him sit there. Only when he violated his word and chose to get arrested at his own request. That led to he made that request, and policy of the building, not our policy of the building, is once you're arrested here, then you are decided to trespass and you return, and we have warned him like that.
I don't think he violated his word, but
he did to me. So we had some very honest, open conversations, and he made that choice, and as a result, we are a working office. We can't have people sitting there for 4 or 5, 6 hours a day. And we have people coming in for sensitive immigration matters. Our hands are tied on that, so we're a working office.
I noticed when I spoke to an intern from your office that she was shaking in her shoes. She was fearful of us. Are you still outside? Are you coming in? She was scared. How can you help us remedy that? People in your staff should not be frightened of us.
I don't know if you've seen what's happening in other offices around Oregon and around the country where there has been incidents urinating. Congressman Walton's office in Bend. I know you didn't do that, but they have sit-ins where they urinated in his office. They got people spray paint offices. They've had.
Wait a minute now.
Not you.
Can you put that in context, please? This was one little old lady who begged to be able to go to the bathroom.
But that's your quibbling here. I mean,
I'm putting it in context.
That's not quibbling.
and you said an intern,
And she did it
so
into a
we're not talking about Greg's office. We're talking about. I mean, we're not talking about our office. But
Nobody did that in your
I didn't say anybody did this. You're hearing what you wanted. I'm here. But she asked about one. It was an intern and not a staffer, and it was probably unfair to put an intern in that position. And we try not to have interns in that position. But no one. We are a working office. We're there to do the work of the people, and we unfortunately don't have time to entertain or let's talk to people for 4 or 5 hours at a time.
Yeah, so this isn't about entertainment.
That's
this
not
is
entertainment.
about saving lives.
But at some point, it becomes.
It's about ending a war.
So, and we understand that.
Do you have any family over in Europe?
We had our time with you, but thanks
One
for
more quick
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
The head individual for World Trade Center security. Nothing I've been able to do is access his name. Is there a reason I cannot have his name?
I don't know, but I don't even know it either. So
You don't know the name of the man in the yellow shirt?
honestly, I don't.
You know, Kyria, I've just got one more thing to say. We have come down here so many times. These two folks here are probably going to leave here in handcuffs. I've left here in handcuffs numerous times. Simply, every single time I've left a note, I have asked the senator to call, ask for a meeting. Never once has the senator himself deigned to meet with any of us. Now, I appreciate your time and Andrew's time, but at some point, after all the sacrifice we make, after a campaign that comes to you again and again and again, can you please pass on to the senator? We're starting to get more than a little frustrated by his personal lack of any kind of care for our position, and we actually do represent the majoritarian position on this war in the state. He has voted wrong each and every time that there's been money at question by our lights. By his own lights, he's voted correctly every time, of course. We disagree with his votes 100%.
And then you should vote against him when he's up for re-election.
Well, our votes, he never had our votes to start with.
That doesn't matter.
No, that's not what this campaign is about. This campaign is about us doing outreach to the rest of the citizens of Oregon and saying, look how your man is voting. He says he's against the war and he's voting for money for it. He says he makes a royal speech on the floor of the Senate and then turns around and votes for another $100 million for this.
Right. You're free to do that. We have no quibble with that.
Well, if he would tell us that he's not going to vote any more money for this war, we would stop telling the people of Oregon that he's got a huge gap between his walk and his talk.
That's not going to happen, and you're free to do what you want.
It's not going to happen. Then we'll continue to come down and leave in handcuffs.
That's your right, sir.
So you're saying right now how he's going to vote in
No,
the
I'm
future?
not. So that's not going to happen. No. So.
Well, you just said that's not.
Well, I'm sorry.
We can't tell you.
We can't tell you how he's going to vote.
He should tell you how he's going to vote.
No, he's in Washington D.C.
He's not there all the time.
He's there the majority of the time while they're in the Senate. So he's in Oregon sometimes. He has public. He and Senator Wyden had 4 town halls last week.
None of us got invited?
Well, the public was invited, but we heard from at every place he went, he hears the concerns that you express. So.
And does he get the letters?
Oh, sure.
He personally.
He personally knows we do. Doesn't all. Doesn't all of them, of course. I mean, the senator gets, how many pounds of mail he gets. It's, of course, that's every letter he gets. So, but he hears the concerns. He knows what we're doing. So, again, admire what your idealism, appreciate what you're doing. It's your absolute right to do it. So, I hope you don't ruin a good day by getting arrested, but that's your right.
People are dying, so it's very realistic.
Well, thanks for coming.
I mean, you could have bloody pies all over the place out here, like the people over there. Where you're playing the war at.
Well, you guys really technically aren't trespassing. We're not going to let you in the building. I don't know how I can help you make your stand. I'm not going to ask the police at this point. I'm not going to ask the police at this point for this. You're not doing anything disruptive or disturbing. You're not in the building. But I don't. I'm willing to listen. Yeah, I mean, you could charge the building. I mean, that would be a different situation. You're not allowed in the building. Let me make that
And why is that we're not allowed?
You're not allowed in the building right now because this is private property and your business here is done, but you're not doing anything disruptive now. You're not. I mean, and you're not in the building. It is not. It's private.
And anybody else can walk in the building. Anybody else who's not.
To me, this campaign, as it has gone so far, is about going to the entrance and going in the building and going up to the lobby. And if Rick says that you can't take another step or you're going to be arrested, then that's the next step. And that's what we've done every time so far. We've had the same success, and you get, I think, almost the same impact without the community service of a hand-issued trespass citation. But Tom's shaking his head. That's exactly wrong. We've talked about that in our group. That's right. We've come to the conclusion that that really doesn't amount to anything. And we appreciate your good try. You're trying to prevent us from suffering consequences, and that's appreciated, Rick. But what nonviolent campaign is about the acceptance of some consequences. So I'm going to be working all day at community service tomorrow, and so I'm not going to get arrested today because I've still got more community service to do from my last arrest. But these two folks have come down here to volunteer to offer resistance. So.
We really feel really terrible about when people are dying because of what our government has done, and we don't choose to go set blockades for the bourgeoisie and our comfort. Other people are getting beheaded, throats cut, and thrown in the ditch. There's got to be a sense of reality. Not that I want to have please, but there's got to be this contact with reality. Click, click, so it really comes together like two apples.
I do understand.
It's not just a footnote. Do you have a footnote that you want to
I'm going to go.
Yeah. Let's
Stop here. No, I'm taking you far away. No. This is different. You don't understand. This is different. By pushing it this way, it's not a simple trespass.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm going to trespass you, and I'm going to ask you to leave now. If you don't leave now, I'm going to have the police arrest you. That's all.
That is your blocking the only entrance.
Okay. So, I'm actually right now
as much as anybody. I just have to know that.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what, Tom? They're just trying to get through. You're actually blocking. Tom, I don't need that. I really don't. But it's true, Tom. I don't need it. I don't want to engage in a dialogue. I want you to leave now. Appreciate it. Tom, I'm trespassing. I expect you to leave now. Immediately and peacefully. I expect you to leave. Yeah, Marcy and Alex, thank you very kindly for your offer of nonviolent resistance. You're helping our campaign a lot. They say they're not listening, but they are. Terry, I need you to leave now. Peacefully and immediately. Joe, thanks for your time. If you move out to the sidewalk, I appreciate it.
trying to talk to the senator, and they're getting arrested. He's not taking anti-war visitors. 2 people said they're still going in, and they said you're going to be arrested. And they just got cut. What time?
You have better range than I do.
Yeah, there's a